Welcome.
Here's the kicker, Harrison Butker, ready to get this one started. And we are underway from Kansas City. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. So here come the Eagles, the defending NFC champs, led out by a man who was the runner-up to Patrick Mahomes at MVP balloting a season ago. Of course, that's Jalen Hurts.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
Now a man picked up on draft night this year, DeAndre Swift. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. Hurts sets up to throw it. And escapes the sack. Now he's forced out right.
I hope the Santas win, but the Elves seem to have the upper hand.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he gets all the way down inside the 20-yard line. So the big play nullified, illegal forward pass.
And maybe we know why they were able to get such a good chunk of yardage on that play. That pass was illegal.
Oh.
Now on 3rd down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Hurts. Airing it out deep for Smith. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
And that might have been a situation where even though you don't hit on the deep throw, you at least put in the defender's minds early in the game that we're going to press the ball deep against your secondary. And that can have a ripple effect on how they function throughout.
Oh, a big decision here early. Look at this. They're going to go for it on their own side of the field. They'll try and throw for it here. And they hit him as he throws, as this one's going to go straight down to the turf. Incomplete. A surprising move here on the opening drive of the game. And on the opening drive of the afternoon, the defense forces a turnover on downs. So here come the defending champs, led out by the reigning MVP of the National Football League, a 2-time winner now in Patrick Mahomes.
And when you think of Patrick Mahomes, you start to think about all of his attributes, and you realize very quickly you can't just put him into one box. No matter how the game proceeds, no matter what is needed.
The Santas know your plan. Please.
Picked up by James Bradbury. And the Eagles will take over possession here up at the 44. Certainly not his best throw that time, and not a good time to make it, Charles, when they were a nickel with 5 defensive backs on the field.
And that's exactly why you have those 5 DBs out there. You want extra speed on the field, guys who have ball skills and understand what the passing game can do, and gives them a chance to react and make a play on the football, and they take one of those away.
So back onto the field, here come the Eagles for their 2nd drive. They'll start in excellent field position following the INT. They'll start on the ground with Swift. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 47 now, they work with a 2nd and 7. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 53 yards. And the Eagles are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. He's tough to contain as it is, but in man coverage with a pretty deep pass downfield, really tough to contain.
And it's so difficult because every play you've got to consider he might try and run past you. So your goal as a defensive back is to give him plenty of cushion, meaning lots of space between you and him. If he wants to catch the short stuff, come up and secure the tackle, hit him a bunch during the game, and try and keep him in front. But if you turn your head for a second, if your concentration wanes,
bye-bye,
he just takes off and goes. And I think that's what we just saw there.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
ELVESLs.
And we see James, he will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Kansas City taking the field for their 2nd drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others, where they think they have an advantage. Dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving. Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a first down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter. On first down, Mahomes. That'll be caught by Rice. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play, and that will bring up 2nd down. So Patrick Mahomes, guys, he's playing at such an elite level. Defensively, coming into a game like this, Charles, it's got to be a lot of things, but what worries you the most?
I think you're exactly right about that. The list is extensive about what worries you. The way he can move, make completions on the run, the way he can throw against his body, heck, make left-handed throws, you name it, he gets it done. The biggest thing, though, is once he gets into rhythm, trying to get his timing chipped away, trying to stop that, that is really difficult to do.
They'll try for the first with Pacheco. And this is not going to be enough. Was in search of 2 yards and only got halfway there.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't,
yes,
defensive tackle end up making the play.
4th down, so Kansas City sends out Tommy Townsend. Britton Covey deep for Philadelphia. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. He's going deep for Brown. It's caught inside the 25. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Eagles are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And it's good, and they have jumped out here to a quick 14-0 first quarter lead. Those are the ones the offensive coordinators dream about. One-play drives from that distance.
Elves. Create Elves create.
Here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Beyond that, I'm not sure what comes next.
They've been outplayed early, no question. Down 14-0 already as they come up 1st and 10. Mahomes going to throw. Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. Well, you're already up a couple of scores here in the first half defensively, and Charles, they just seem to be playing really free on that side of the football.
I love the observation because with that type of a lead, they feel like they can take a few more chances and be even more aggressive, and it's been paying off for them so far this game.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. To throw, it's Mahomes. Under pressure, and they got to him again. Jalen Carter in there again as he's able to pick up sacks on both 1st and 2nd down.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety.
An absolutely dominating series from that pass rush to record the safety. 3 sacks in a row shouldn't be possible against an NFL offensive line. But there they are, dropping him on 3 straight reps, the last of which came in the end zone for 2 points.
So after that safety, now a free kick situation forthcoming as they punt it away from the 20. Fielded at about the 28. $16-0. That's the score after 1 on EA Sports. Start of the 2nd quarter, and it's the Eagles in possession as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. Smith will come in motion right. And they'll fake it there on the jet sweep, and instead, here's Swift. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle, and that's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you've opened up lanes for your runners.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And that one opened up for him well as he'll take this down to the 26-yard line. A big pickup there for the Eagles' 1st down, 18 yards.
Well, part of why that play works is because the defense has to freeze because they don't know whether he's going to hand it off or keep it himself. And this time, how about that sleight of hand there? Gives it to his wideout. And that indecision defensively, boy, it hurt him in a big way.
The slot man in motion right. A fake on the jet sweep as they'll go play action with Hurts. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Off the play fake, here's Hurts. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great effort there. 26 yards. And the Eagles are able to widen their lead here in this 1st half. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Eagles off.
Create Elves create.
They'll look to throw. And unable to connect. They don't get the 2-point conversion here.
I don't know about you, but I can't wait for a few years of 2-point tries and see what the data tells us? Because a lot of teams want to throw the ball in this situation. This time, unsuccessfully. I just wonder if maybe running the ball might be the way to go.
With it moved up from the 3 to the 2, you would think maybe a few more attempts at running.
I think stats over time may bear out that running the ball will at least be the equal of throwing it in that situation.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Pacheco to begin the drive. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. He'll get a yard. That's all as they get him down at the 28.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Throwing is Mahomes on 3rd. Dancing to his left. And he's going to be stopped here a few yards short of the 1st as the tackle is made at the 33. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to KC. On 4th down, Tommy Townsend to punt for Kansas City. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. This is taken at about the 14. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10.
Great.
Throwing is Hurts. He's going deep for Brown. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Eagles are able to stretch out their lead. So not only is that his 3rd touchdown catch of the game, he's done it here in the first half.
I'm not sure defensively what they're going to come up with to slow him down, because already we're seeing him run past in order to make these catches. And being able to try and shut him down at this stage of the game, it's going to take a lot of effort, so maybe it'll open things up for some other people.
Well, they better figure something out, and soon. Elliott good on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half.
Dashing away nerd face party popper.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And 3 and out on the last drive. No points on the scoreboard. Little soul-searching now?
I would say so, and they need to help out their defense a little bit. They've had to be on the field a lot more than normal, put them in some tough spots. But what's the old adage? When you get another chance, it gives you a better chance to do it right.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Throwing now is Mahomes. That's complete. It's Travis Kelce. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. First catch on that one for Kelce, and it's a first down.
Good for our Kansas City Chiefs. 1st and 10 at the 38-yard line.
A man who re-signed with the Chiefs back in May. Here's Jerick McKinnon taken down at the 42.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 42-yard line, here's a 2nd and 7. Working from the gun, Mahomes. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up third. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. From the gun on third down, Mahomes. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a fourth down.
On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. He might be on his way to a record-setting performance. So good here. We're only in the second quarter.
And it's so interesting when we watch these types of days unfold for a receiver because they need a quarterback throwing it accurately, people to block for the quarterback, so many other variables. But, boy, he's getting it done and in a big way. Right now, he wants to rock on every snap.
Yeah, he's counting his yards in the hundreds, not the tens. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
Let's just call it what it is. This has been a flat-out struggle for this defense all game long. They've really had a hard time slowing them down. And while I'm not big on speeches and guys jumping up and down, they might need their team leader on defense to get in their face right now and light a fire under these guys. They've got to start playing better assignment football and start getting guys on the ground.
19 yards there on the catch and run.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Looking downfield, and that's caught right side. He's got his man. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
I know that no game in the NFL is ever easy, but they're making it look that way. Everything is being done with such precision. Just on this drive alone, 3 plays, 3 first downs. If you're on defense, you're scrambling, looking at each other, trying to figure out how are we going to slow these guys down.
On 1st down, Hurts. And this is going to be intercepted. Mike Edwards picks it up. And the Chiefs are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20.
That's a beautiful read there by the safety. It's zone coverage. So he's just
that was dumb.
He knows he can't get beat deep because he has the end line to protect him. So he can react to everything in front of him, and he makes a great break on the football and comes down with the interception.
And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
So we are at halftime here on Christmas Eve, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, back to you, too, in just a bit. But first, welcome everyone to downtown Orlando and our EA Sports Halftime Report. The highlights from the first half, all one-sided. This one got out of hand early.
I wouldn't worry that much the Elves have this game.
This second half, because this one's already close to being in the bag, if it's not already.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
The game knows it's Christmas Eve. Face with raised eyebrow, exploding head. True.
The Super Bowl champs trailing here, but they will get the ball first to begin quarter number 3. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3.
CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And, partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late, that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task...
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
And they'll be at the 18-yard line. Great field position here in the red zone.
Well, I think everyone who's watching was certainly hoping to see things get a little bit better for them in this half, weren't we? But it was a downright miserable first half that's carried over with an interception to begin the second half. That's a defeated offense right there, and there's still a lot of game left. I don't think that's the last turnover we're going to see today, partner.
Eagles offense and A.J. Brown headed back out there.
This defense, they wouldn't mind not seeing him again for a while. 3 trips to the end zone. How about that?
I think right now they would happily go to their general manager and say, is there any way you could get a trade for him, bring him over to our...
And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25.
George Karlaftis.
It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. And Goddard's got it. Touchdown, Eagles. A great play there. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far.
And the Eagles have taken a 5-touchdown lead. Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking...
And now, of course, all scoring plays are reviewed, and I think they're going to take an extra long look at this one. They're taking a peek at whether or not those feet were in bounds, and obviously a big call here in the end zone.
And not just the feet. How about the hands? How's the ball possessed while the feet are hopefully getting down in bounds? That's what they're trying to look at to see if it all comes together.
Creepy at most. ELVES 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 elves. Create elves create.
After the video review, so they had it right.
Elliott good with a PAT, and the lead grows even larger here in the third quarter.
Chiefs nothing.
Boxing glove trophy, hell of a play.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
Out now the Chiefs offensive unit ready to do battle again.
Well, we're still in the third quarter, so there's some time to kind of clean this up and make it look more respectable. Now, a win, that's probably gone out the window, Charles, but I don't know. Do you look at this as a time to just improve and maybe start to look towards the future?
I think you have to find something to play for, something to grasp onto until the clock runs out. But, Brandon, we've been around this game a long time. This is an outlier. You don't get many blowouts like this no matter how the game looks on paper going in. This one has turned out to be everyone's worst nightmare realized.
Quick slant to Watson.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
1st and 10 at the 41-yard line.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes.
That sack courtesy of the effort of Hassan Reddick.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Mahomes. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. Wide receiver A.J. Brown, you see he and the rest of his mates returning to the field here. And now he's inching closer to a 200-yard game. He's been so solid.
And he's really denting the pride of the guys playing defense, too, because there's certain barriers that you just don't want to give up. Never want to give up a 100-yard rusher, a 100-yard receiver.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. DeAndre Swift. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Eagles have taken a 6-touchdown lead.
Sometimes you get a 1st and goal and you're back near the 7, 8, 9-yard line and you start thinking, maybe we'll run it here on 1st down to get half of what we need, so maybe we can have 2 or 3 shots at going for it from closer range. So this is a bonus right here. What a great run to work his way into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter.
Chiefs nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. It's a game that they would rather probably forget about, at least to this point, Charles. And one reason is turnovers. A turnover on the last drive. They had the issue in the 1st half as well, and that's really, unfortunately for them, helped to put this game out of reach.
And you know they won't admit it to themselves, but we know that winning the game is pretty much out of the picture now. So their bottom line is, how do they play a clean game the rest of this one, right? Take care of the football, no more turnovers, and see how that works.
Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Looking to throw is Mahomes. And the pressure gets to him again. Hassan Reddick getting him once again his 3rd sack of the afternoon.
So, Brandon, we sat in with a lot of coaches, and when they talk about things they want to accomplish offensively, I'm not sure that sack and sack are on their play sheet.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. It'll be a sack and a loss of 3, but more importantly, it brings up 4th down.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback in a big way, don't you?
Yeah, they just can't get out of their own way right now. And it's created an avalanche, and an avalanche is coming right on top of them. And he'll take it on this side of midfield. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. That'll go as a punt return of 53 yards. And the Eagles get another 3rd quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
Well, it certainly feels like that kind of game, doesn't it? No matter what they do, it's going to work. That might be the absolute crusher right there. A punt return for a touchdown.
Feels like there's been a lot of crushers in this game. This lead just gets bigger. Elliott on for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. So his big play capability in full display there as he's able to return that punt for a touchdown.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And now here comes Kansas City. And really, Charles, not much of a surprise that they're losing. They just haven't been able to get much of anything going in the pass game. And As you well know, in today's NFL, if the passing game isn't working, usually not much else is working either.
You're exactly right about that, partner. And I know that right now the easy answer would be, hey, let's run the football. But that might not be everything you need. So despite the fact that they've struggled throwing it, they've got to find some type of a play, multiple plays, that puts the ball in the air and allows for them to have some success.
Here's Mahomes to throw. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements.
Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. That time, multiple defenders getting pressure, and it's a loss of 6.
Well, this has to count as a great team effort today, but this man, he's been at the center of all of it. Really special day for any defense to have this many sacks in a game, even more so for this player. One of the best individual efforts of the season.
Returnable here from the 38. And just a net of 31 here. 40-yard punt, 9 on the return. And it will be Eagles football, 1st and 10. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out. Looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving. He's got a man complete. And this is caught. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A.J. Brown, 53 yards. And the Eagles are able to extend their lead in the final seconds of this 3rd quarter. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
ELVES elves. Create elves create.
Elliott good with a PAT. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. We're off to the 4th quarter here on Christmas Eve. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. We're back now in KC, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. Elliott now to kick this one away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Chiefs ready to rock again on offense. Well, it's been a struggle so far for this offense, Charles. It's not only that they haven't been able to put the points up, but really stringing yards together has been a real issue for them in this one.
I'm so glad you brought up the yardage, because I was thinking to myself, we've seen a lot of NFL games, and we've seen our share of lopsided contests, but in almost all of them, both offenses put up at least 200 yards in a game, but not in this one. This has been a display of offense that, frankly, I think the two of us have watched from behind our hands, trying to spread our fingers wide enough to actually see the result.
To Valdez-Scantling over the middle. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the...
Pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Josh Sweat rushing in and bringing him down to the ground.
Well, it's obvious, but I can't help but say it here. It's never a good day when the opposing defense has more sacks than you have points. The win seems likely, but this defense is still playing for something here. They see that 0 on the scoreboard, and they don't want that to change.
Here's the Chiefs punter now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And taken right on the 30. And he's loose again. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. It's a punt return score of 70 yards. And the Eagles had 6 more to their point total, and they're on cruise control right now here in the 4th. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Chiefs, nothing. Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. KC's offense ready to take over. I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mention in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Now Mahomes. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. But not only is this defense pitching a shutout, now they're contributing points themselves. I mean, they have really put together what's almost been a perfect effort here in this one.
I love how you express that. They've absolutely exceeded expectations in this one. And even better than their play, it's been their effort. Even with the win in their back pocket already, every one of those guys is still out there fighting like it's a tie game.
Elliott now to add the extra point. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick-6. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick-6, and now the kick is away. And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the fourth quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run, have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
Now a 2nd and 10. Mahomes now to throw. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
Now here's Mahomes. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 45-yard line. Nice play for Kansas City, picking up the first 18 yards that time. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Well, Mahomes can't get away, and down he goes. Hassan Reddick, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance. Now Mahomes throwing on 2nd down. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he has another first down as they'll get the ball down to the Eagles' 32-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. 15. Throwing on 1st down is Mahomes. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Zach Cunningham with a pick. And the Eagles will have the football as this is taken up past the 30. Yet another mistake after the interception there. And gosh, you look up at the scoreboard. They just got to be thinking this one cannot get over fast enough.
It certainly can't. And also what happens when you get this big of a deficit, you're supposed to make all the right throws, right? You're supposed to try and obviously get the ball to your own guys. But being down this big, you also take even more chances. And in this situation, that hasn't paid off for them at all.
On the other sideline, jubilation and laughter. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now it looks like he'll throw here. He's going deep for Brown. He's got it inside the 10. And he will get into the end zone. It's another
Elk versus Santa game.
Even though they've got this big advantage, Charles, they are not taking their foot off the gas pedal right now.
Well, I think what we're seeing is the result of all their great preparation and great practice time during the week. And even though it seems like this is a great chance to pull people back and maybe, not try and score a few more times, they don't want to do that. I think they're enjoying what they're seeing, the collective effort, and they want to play it all the way out.
Elliott on for the extra point. And this one was over a...
Going to take a short break and grab some grub. I will be back on though after that.
From the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. And Kansas City's offense now set and ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to be important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right.
And oh my goodness, here's a 5th interception. Picked up by Shaquille Leonard, the linebacker. And they will take over at the 29-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard.
All right, enjoy your victory meal. The Elves deserve it.
I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. They go play action with Hurts. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. CD, it'll go into the books as just one win, but this is a really impressive win. They've done it on defense, and here they continue to do it on offense. Another score in the fourth quarter to widen that advantage.
I like where you were going with that one. Would you say, partner, it was really 3 victories today? Landslide on the scoreboard, emphatic victory on either side of the ball. They really got it done.
Elliott now to add the extra point.
Now, this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. Now the Chiefs offense, they get ready to head on the field. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film section in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked up by James Bradbury.
So the ball changing hands on the interception, but meanwhile here we do have an injury on the play.
We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. How about this starting field position? First and goal from 2 yards out.
Swift is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
From back at the 4, here's second and goal.
One more time with Swift.
And he is met in his tracks.
QB1.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Now they'd really like to make the short field pay off.
Pass sneak
See if
QB
they
run.
can, but this is third and goal. Hurts sets up to throw it.
And give him another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues.
Well, Charles, just impressive in all 3 phases. Offense, defense, special teams have really done their job. And here the offense doing its part yet again with another score in the fourth quarter.
I know it seems like something we shouldn't do because the scoreboard does tell it all. But let's set it aside for a moment. This game was absolutely memorable with how they played it. Really terrific effort, really well executed. Congratulations to them.
Elliott on for the extra point.
Announce. ELBES. Create Elves create.
Scoring summary, 3-play drive.
And it's capped off by an A.J. Brown touchdown.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away.
And we see James. He will not return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25.
And now here comes Kansas City.
Well, we said it at halftime that they would need a nearly perfect second half to erase that deficit that they were facing, CD. But unfortunately, the second half has pretty much been a carbon copy of the first.
Yeah, that early lead was almost insurmountable the way their opponent was playing. And, partner, they do have some good... This one is getting close to being over, and they can try and hit the reset button starting tomorrow.
It's now 2nd and 19 at the 16-yard line.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now back to throw. Under pressure, they get... The Eagles will take their 3rd and final timeout. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. He'll look to throw.
That is caught.
And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield.
A real letdown defensively. That was third and a bundle, but they allow the conversion.
Well, as my dad would say sometimes, I'm just scratching my head here trying to figure out what was going on there defensively. How did you lose him in the middle of the field? If you're going to lose a receiver, make sure it's someone on the short side of things, not deep downfield, that can hurt your defense.
So fly, Eagles, fly. It's a victory for Philadelphia. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew,
Create elves, create.
It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Almost hit that 100 points mark. Congrats, elves. See you next year. Take a rest, Santa. Yep. Also, my record of 150 still stands. Smiling face with hand over mouth. Maybe next time. Thanks for coming through, David. If I don't see you later, Merry Christmas. Thank you, David, and everyone. See you later. And don't forget, like, thumbs up, comment, subscribe and share. Thanks you as well. Enjoy the day tomorrow. Thanks.